Hi everyone, so today I'll be doing the all about my piercings, so I'll just be talking to you about what piercings I have, the healing time, are they worth it, and all of that. So if you want to see this video, then just keep on watching. We're going to start off with the first piercing that I got, and that is my tongue, so it just looks like this. So that's what my tongue piercing looks like. Now, many people think that the tongue is the worst possible painful piercing you could get. Honestly, it's not. Seriously, like, don't even worry about it. Like, biting your tongue, I found, is more sore than getting the piercing done. So it's just a slight little pinch. And the only thing that would slightly freak you out, like if you're really squeamish, like the sound, you can kind of hear the needle going up. So what they do is, when I got it pierced, I have it pierced about 1.5 years now, I'd say. I got it like for Christmas, and it was like my first like main piercing. Well, like apart from these, I'll talk about these in a minute. This was my first main piercing. So what they done is, you stick out your tongue, and they'd check to see if there's any veins in the middle, because if there's any veins in the middle of your tongue, you can't get it pierced because it could like possibly kill you. So there was no veins in the middle of my tongue, so I was clear to get it pierced. So I stuck out my tongue, and they'd like take a torch and like look and see if there's any veins, and once you're clear, then they'd put the clamp on. So they'd put the clamp out, and you'd have to keep your tongue out, and the needle goes up like from underneath and then comes out, and then they put the bar in, and the bar is about that size. It's like really big. I think I actually have the bar hanging on. I'll get it. So this was the bar that I originally got pierced with. So this doesn't look big like from here, but can you picture this in your tongue? So this is the size of a normal bar. So as you can see, there's a massive difference. So they put this bar in, because your tongue swells up a lot. Like, I remember for weeks, like I was in school, and like I literally could not say Wednesday. Like, all my friends would be like, "Oh, what day is it, Ciara?" And I'm like, Wednesday. I couldn't get the like ends day. So because my tongue was that swollen, like it literally takes up the majority of my mouth, and that is literally the only pain process. Like, I found it harder to like eat food, and like I was afraid that I'd swallow it and stuff. Like, I actually have swallowed a few of the plastic balls, but like it's fine once you screw it on properly. Like, so that was my first piercing. Like, the pain on a scale from 1 to 10 getting it pierced was probably a 4. Like, it wasn't even painful. So that was fine, and like it was more the aftermath was like more painful. Like, but it was my fastest healing piercing. Like, I kept this bar in for about 6 weeks, and then I changed to like a normal size bar like this. And I think so. And I think my brother changed his at 5 weeks or something, and I know someone that changed theirs at 2 weeks. No, probably shouldn't do that, but like, anyway. So that was one of my fastest healing piercings, and I'd say if you want to get your tongue done, I'd say just go for it. Like even if you're bad with pain, I think you'll be perfectly fine. Like, the only worry is like your food and stuff, or if you're like extremely squeamish. So I'd advise getting that done. Now I'm going to talk about my ear piercing. So I have my 3 lobes done on either side. Now, I got my first lobes done when I was 5. And I've had them ever since, and I can't even remember the pain for them. I probably thought it was fairly painful considering I was 5. But I've had them for 10 years now. 10 years I have these. So these I got when I was in 6th or 5th class. I just know that I was 10. So it probably was 5th. I feel like it was 5th. Or was it even 4th class? Was it 4th class? I don't know, it was somewhere in primary, but I just know that I got these when I was 10, so 5 years later I got these. I kind of remember the pain scale on them. Like, it wasn't that much, it was just kind of a little pinch like your typical ear piercings. It just hurt as much as the bottom lobes. And then these I got done in 2nd year, and these were the same pain tolerance as well, just once you take care of them, make sure they're not infected and all that. So that was fine, I got all them. So the next piercing I got after all of them was actually my belly button. So I got that when a year ago, so I got it when I was 14, I think, so I got that done. Now, I found that my belly button piercing was the most painful piercing out of all of them, apart from ones that I'm going to talk about next. But it was just like the fact that the skin down there is so tough and thick that she had to like really push the needle through. And the piercer I went to as well, she wasn't very nice and she was very rough, and I just felt like, I'm not going to say the piercer I went to now, but for this one, but I just didn't like her at all, and I felt like she could have done a way better job. And when on a scale of like 1 to 10, the pain level for that piercing was about 7, I'd say 7, and it was really painful, because I felt like she could have like taken it easy a bit more, like, and stuff, and she wasn't really talking to me. And you know, I was kind of like trying to have a conversation with her, and I was like, oh, what kind of piercings, like, what's the most kind of popular piercing that you do and all this, and she'd kind of just kind of be like, oh, belly button and all this, and like, and she'd just like stop conversation, like she wouldn't make no effort, and she was like really rough. And like, when my piercing was in my belly button, it like bled constantly, like it wouldn't stop bleeding. Now that's normal, but she didn't do anything to help me. Like, she gave me a tissue and she was like, here, hold that, and I just thought it was very blunt, like she didn't even wipe it off, like she just kind of told me that was that and then just walk out. So that was that, and yeah, so that's my belly button piercing. Now, I felt that was one of the longest healing ones as well. Like, I changed it fairly early, so it wasn't quite healed, so I think that made it take the healing time like longer. But that was one of my most troublesome piercings. So, oh, actually, before I get on to my next piercings, I'll tell you where I got all my piercings. So these were from Claire's, that was Claire's, and that was Claire's. All my lobes were Claire's. My tongue was Bazar's in Washington Street, and they're really nice, you should go in there. Belly button, I'm not going to say them because I don't want to kind of like bash them, in case I get like absolutely mangled, so I'm just going to like leave them out. So my next piercing I'm going to talk about is my nose, and I got that done last Christmas. So that was one of my nicest piercings as well, along with my tongue. I got this done in Bazar's as well, and they were like really nice. I don't know, I think it was €25 to get that pierced. My tongue was 35, belly was 20. My lobes, can't remember how much they were, but yeah, my nose was 25. So literally what just happens with your nose is they kind of like clamp it like here, like they kind of shove the clamp up this side of your nose and kind of pull your nose to the side, and then the needle goes in this way and comes down here, and then they just stick it in. Now, it sounds really painful, but it's honestly not. I swear, like, it's literally a tiny little pinch inside your nose, and even the aftermath of the healing, it's not that sore at all. Like, it's literally, you wouldn't even notice it. It's just kind of little tiny stinging, like. So I'd say the nose is a really good piercing to get done as well, if you just want a kind of little change or something. It'd be really good to get done, and it was really fast healing as well. Now, it was still a bit sore up until a few months ago, to change, like, but now, like, it's completely fine. Like, I can twist this and like there's no pain there, so that's completely fine, and it healed really nice. And on a scale of 1 to 10, the pain was about a 4 as well. Like, my tongue, like, there was absolutely, now you have to take into account my pain tolerance as well. Like, I have a very low pain tolerance. I can take pain very easily. Like, some people now, they could like fall on the ground, that it would hurt them like hell, but like, I find to be okay with piercings and all that, so you have to take that into account as well. So that's my nose piercing. Now, the last piercings I have to get onto is these two here. So this is my rook, and that's my tragus, and I got them done about, I'd say when you're watching this would be about, so when I got them done about, by the time you're watching this, would be about 2 weeks ago. So these are very fresh piercings. This is my freshest piercing. Now, these were my most painful by far. I swear to God, these were my most painful, and they were my most troublesome either. I went to, I think it's on Shannon Street, but I think it's like just Cork Piercers or something, I don't know. But the piercings are really cheap in there, so I'd really advise going in there, and your man is like sound and stuff, like. But I don't even know if he's sure what he's doing, but my piercings are fine, and like I think he's qualified, I don't know. But the piercings are really cheap, so I'd advise going in there. So when you get more than one piercing in there, the piercings are 15 each, like even for your tongue and stuff, like it's 15 each. So this was, my tragus was 15 and my rook was 15. Now, like, these were my worst piercings ever, like the worst, like for the pain, I'd say. Like, these were really painful. So he first done my tragus, so he like clamped here and then it went in from the back, and that was fine. It was just kind of tingling sensation, but it's more the aftermath. It's like really sore now when I can't put an earphone in and stuff, and like it's just kind of really sore and I can't sleep on this side of my head yet. So yeah, and then with my rook it was so painful. Like it started pumping, bleeding, and all the blood started like running down my ear and everything. And I was like walking down Shannon Street with like a pad up against my, not like a pad, like it's just like a tissue, but like all the blood was like running down here. So he like had to like clamp here, and that was so sore. The clamp was like the worst of the lot, and like the clamp was so tight it actually kind of like stopped the feeling in my ear. So he clamped in here, and then he like had to, because this is all bone, he had to like shove it through, and it was just so sore. But when he put the actual bar in, it was fine. But I had a heart attack the next day, because I woke up the next day and like the bottom ball here was gone. I'd say you could have seen it in my recent video, there was like no bottom ball on it, and I thought the ball was gone, so I thought I'd have to go back up to your man to get it put in. But I actually found it, like I was getting up out of the bed and it like actually popped out onto the floor, and I like just knew that it was the ball, so I just screwed it on. It was really hard to screw on actually, and this one screwed off the first night as well, and I was cleaning it, like the water like loosened it. So just be careful if you want to get like your tragus or your rook done, just know that the balls come off easily. Now I have friends that have their tragus done and all that, and like their balls didn't come off, so I don't know why it happened to me. But anyway, that's just, I actually love the look of them. Like I think like it's highly worth the pain. Like on a scale from 1 to 10, the pain was about an 8. I actually think like that's the highest I'd actually go, like an 8. It was so painful, but I think they're worth it. Like, and the pain is slowly starting to go away, and I like managed to get an earphone in there like yesterday, but only for about 5 minutes, and then it started like hurting me again. But yeah, that's my rook and my tragus. So yep, that's all my piercings. If you've any like questions about my piercings or the healing times and stuff like that, just comment down below and I'll answer you, or I'll say it in the next video. So that's probably it. That's my piercings. Okay, and that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed looking at all my piercings, and if you got something out of it, give it a thumbs up. Tell me what piercings you want to get down below, or piercings that you have that you think are really cool that I don't have. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and see you in my next video.